A good Thursday to you. We've some terrific stories for you today on Ag AM in Kansas. Here's what's coming up.
Today, Brian Holman is at this year's Ag Day discussing the Kansas Soybean Association's plans for 2013. Then he visits with the chairman of the Wheat Commission about how their checkoff dollars are spent. Next, Greg Akagi talks about getting involved in ag broadcasting and how it has changed over the years. And finally, we learn how hunger touches Kansas communities large and small, and about the success of the 2012 Neighbor to Neighbor food drive. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to the show. We're at the 2013 Ag Day event going on here at the state capitol. It's the breakfast pancake feed and sausage and syrup and all kinds of sticky stuff going on here. And we're joined by Terry. It's good to see you again.
Nice to be here.
Got to see you at the Soybean Expo. Yeah, back in January. So coming into the year, we've got some moisture. It looks like we're off to a decent start, maybe coming into spring. What's the hope of the Kansas soybean farmer this year?
Well, I'm sure there are some areas of the state that are still sort of wet and you know, extremely dry also in places. But you know, we're hoping this year everybody gets a good general rains, and so that we can all share in a good bountiful harvest for a change. So last year in our part of the state, northeast Kansas, we sure can't complain about the crops we had up there, but we know there's other areas of the state that were extremely dry and really hurting. So.
Terry, the association's plan for the year?
Well, today we're down here to have one of our meetings, our March meeting, and we will not have another meeting till July, and then we have another meeting in November. So our plan today is just go through all the things we need to do to get us through the planting season, and we want to let everybody know, all the producers out there especially, that you know, what we do here on the association, you know, we make plans for the year so that our office and staff are down here working. And while the producers are out in the field raising a crop, we're down here working every day for you, especially our staff, working every day for you to help make sure there is a demand for that crop and a value to that crop. So know that when you're out there on the tractor planting the crop and taking care of the crop, that there's somebody in this office down here at the Kansas Soybean Association that's working alongside you and with you, cooperating with our board to you know, help us be the producers we want to be.
And also make it a level playing field. I mean, let's face it, when we're dealing with the legislature and the governor and some other people, we want to make sure that we have a level playing field for all farmers across the state of Kansas. We want to make sure that the beans or corn, whatever they grow, has an opportunity to go to outside markets at a level price that everybody can make a living at. Consumers can buy it at a reasonable amount. So I know you guys spend time at the legislative side also to ensure that happens.
Exactly. We're on the policy side of it here at the Kansas Soybean Association, and we visit with legislators. Actually, we just had some people back in Washington several weeks ago. I think it was last week, and we've got you know, people talking to our legislators all the time, and that's important because you got to remember, when you walk into a legislator's office, say in Washington or here in Topeka, you know, a group of people just may have walked out that's fighting against what we do, or maybe, you know, fighting animal agriculture and things that we are proposing. There may have been a group in there coming in right behind us or right ahead of us, so we've got to make sure our voices are heard also.
And that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of money, and takes a lot of energy. And that's what the association really kind of backs up the farmers by doing.
Right. And, you know, the time, and you're right, time and money, and that's why, you know, it's important that everybody is a member of the Kansas Soybean Association, so that, you know, we try to speak for everybody out there. And, you know, we feel if you're not a member, maybe you're not carrying your own weight. So membership is important, because when we do go to Washington or go to the legislature, we're speaking for all producers.
One common voice.
One common voice. Right.
Perfect. Terry, it's good to see you again.
Nice to be here.
Have a great year.
Okay, thanks for being here and helping us get our message out.
You're very welcome. It's good to see you.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Purple Wave is a proud supporter of the Kansas FFA through the Bid for Blue program. Purple Wave donates a portion of the proceeds earned on certain ag assets to the Kansas FFA. Winning bidders can designate a Kansas chapter to receive the donation. To date, Purple Wave is proud to have donated over $10,000. Visit purplewave.com to learn more and to place bids on Bid for Blue assets. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
For the greenest, healthiest, weed-free lawn in your neighborhood, the Fertilome Lawn Care program is the best. Fertilome Lawn Care products provide your lawn with the exact ingredients for proper fertilization and weed prevention. Jackson's friendly staff will call you to let you know when to apply the next step. We can also do it for you, so call or stop in now.
The Fertilome Lawn Care program is still available at last year's prices, but hurry, time is limited.
The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine is a leader in food animal research and education. Our researchers are constantly expanding the knowledge of animal health and food safety. Through the Veterinary Health Center and the Kansas State Veterinary Diagnostic Lab, we provide practical services for animal producers. Home of the Beef Cattle Institute, the college is committed to animal welfare training and research. The Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, knowledge and service for the future of animal production.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and the Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Welcome back to the show. We're at the 2013 Ag Week breakfast feed here in Topeka, Kansas. We're joined by Richard, who is the chairman of the Wheat Commission. Did I get that right?
Yes.
There we go. Richard, thanks for joining us this morning on the
welcome.
show. Big day. You're going to go over and spend some time with the Senate Ag Committee. And
I get to go give the presentation and give the report on the 2012 year to the Senate Ag Committee. And we'll give them an overrun of what we did this last year. First time I've done that, so I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
Probably show it.
Yeah, no, you'll do just fine. So when you give your report, we're talking about checkoff funds that you guys give a report on, seeing how the Kansas legislators enacted this opportunity for each commodity to have checkoff dollars. What are some of the things you guys fund as far as your checkoff dollars go?
Well, about 25% of our checkoff, which is usually somewhere around $1 million, goes to research, and a lot of it goes to K-State and Hayes and research and to different breeders and so forth, and looking at new projects for wheat, and we're looking on the producer side and the consumer side, both on these research funding that we do. So that's one of the big part. And another one of our major funds is the U.S. Wheat Associates, which, they do a great job in selling our product overseas. They got about 16 offices around the world, and they're manned, and they help sell our Kansas wheat, which, we have to export about 50% of our wheat out of Kansas. So and then domestic marketing is another one of our big fundraisers, or one of the big expenses we have in our budget. So. And our budget consists of a 1.5 cent check off for every bushel at the first point of sales, and that's where we generate our funding at.
Wheat, everybody optimistic this year as far as wheat goes. We got some late snow, maybe give some snowpack, cover that wheat and give it a little protection.
Here in the middle of March, the wheat looks pretty good. As I drove across the state of Kansas, the western part of the state, we're still not out of the drought. It looks like as you go east, it's looking a lot better. Still spotty in places, but the wheat looks very good coming across the state of Kansas. We're still kind of trying to come out of the drought, and we're just now coming out of dormancy here in the middle of March, which is probably pretty close to normal time for us.
We've got to spend some time with Justin over at the new building. I would imagine as a longtime wheat farmer, you're probably pretty proud of the new building that was just built.
Very proud of the new building and very apprehensive on what it will do for the Kansas wheat producers and also the regional wheat producers, because I think this building is going to be a larger scope than just Kansas. We're doing a lot of work with the surrounding states and some other, and even some private companies with the double haploid process. So I'm really excited what this may be doing 6, 7, 8, 10 years down the road. I think we're going to see a huge benefit, especially with the state of Kansas.
And you look at it, you're right next to IGP. It also gives you an opportunity to bring customers from foreign countries into the building and show some of the research that's being done right on site.
Right on site. We normally have 5 or 6 trade teams that come through during the year's time that we're helping from different foreign countries, and Nigeria is one of our biggest buyers of Kansas wheat, and they send a trade team just about every year. And they like to come and visit a farm, visit a feed mill, and go to the grocery store and go to a flour mill. And every bit of education we can do to our customers is to our benefit.
Well, I know you'll do a good job today. It was very nice to meet you, sir. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Dr. Dan here. Whether I'm driving up and down the roads covering the state of Kansas or I'm getting between Riley and Manhattan for my job, I'm driving a Ford truck. I'd like you to come out and visit my friends here at Dick Edwards Ford. They have a truck that'll suit your needs, whether you're looking for power with a Power Stroke diesel or if you're looking for fuel efficiency with the new EcoBoost engine, they got a truck that's just right for you. They're located 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall in Manhattan, Kansas, and they'll bend over backwards to help you. And I'll see you down the road.
This is the fast track to more jobs and America's energy independence. Advanced Performance is here now. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Golf Week calls it the best course you can play in Kansas. But once you play, you'll want to stay. Go for it. Firekeeper Golf Course at Prairie Band Casino and Resort is just north of Topeka off Highway 75. Our stay and play package is worth the trip. Luxury hotel room, green fees, and golf cart for 2, starting at just $169.
Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Go for it!
This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. Just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road.
Thanks for staying with us this morning. Our next guest is someone that you'll probably recognize the voice, but you may not see all the time because he's on 580 WIBW Radio, Greg Akagi. It's good to see you, Greg.
Good to see you too.
You know, we see each other everywhere.
Yeah, we do.
And we're both doing what we do on a daily basis.
We do.
And I've told you over the last couple of years I wanted to have you on the show. You do a lot for agriculture here in the state of Kansas, and I know many people respect what you do for agriculture here in the state of Kansas. How'd you get started?
It's interesting because, my dad farmed when we were out in southwest Kansas. We didn't live on a farm. We lived in the city, but we did a lot of cash rent basis. But I actually started out in the radio business as a news and sports director, and my oldest brother said, hey, there's an opportunity in Topeka to work ag, farm broadcasting. And lo and behold, in November of '93, I got into this business, and I always tell people I learn something new every day, because it's a business you learn every day, as you well know, to be able to do. And almost 20 years later, here I am, and I've enjoyed every bit of it, to be able to talk with producers and to see how important farmers are to everyone's life across the state, and then that's important.
How's ag broadcasting changed? I mean, today's digital age, I'm sure people can get, your reports on their tractor. They can watch us on the internet now. I mean, ag broadcasting has really changed in the last 20 years, hasn't it?
It is amazing what can be done on something like this.
I know.
Because you think of what this used to be in the early 90s and how, you almost had to hold it out here
exactly right.
to be able to do that. I think the biggest thing is that farmer wants more information. He wants to know what the markets are. He wants to know ag news. He definitely wants to know the weather, but he also wants to know the financials, because all the farmers are so invested in so many things that they need to know that. They want to know that information. They need to know that information. Technology-wise, it has gone leaps and bounds, because I can take a recorder out of my pocket now versus carrying it strapped around my shoulder with a microphone and do everything. And I think that's the amazing part about that, is that we can go straight to the farmer and do what we're able to do, and I think that's what makes it great for us too.
And how do you keep up to date on all the things? And you touched a few minutes ago on, and you've got to know a lot about everything, or a little bit about everything, to be able to communicate with the farmers, and in your case listeners, in my case viewers. How do you stay up to date on all that stuff?
There are so many sources out there now that really look at agriculture, not only from the regular perspective of national media, what you're able to do, what we are able to do, but also social media wise, that there are people who do blogs, and we can name those people, and you know the same people that I do, but also social media wise that keep up to date. Now, there is the caveat that says, can it all be trusted? Not necessarily. But that's also to where, yes, people who maybe are anti-ag, you don't necessarily agree with their message, but if you do follow them, you get to see what their message is. Because then you're not blindsided by what that message is, and that's important too, to be able to see that and to be able to know how to respond to that, or at least talk to people about that type of message too.
And we want to remind everybody, Ag Issues every morning from 5 to 7 on 580 WIBW. Can you get that on the internet also?
Yes, you can. You can go to WIBWnewsnow.com, or you can hear our podcast of our Ag Issues programs at KansasAgNetwork.com.
Perfect. Greg, it's good to see you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show.
Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Kansas Pork Association, assisting producers and informing consumers.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
I'm Dennis Tebow. My wife and I, Kathy, are the owners of Wolf Creek Cattle Company. We have grown to approximately 70 bulls.
I'm Reese Arnold. I'm the livestock manager at Wolf Creek Cattle Company. These are not just like normal cattle. These cattle, they're hauled anywhere from, 8 to 10 hours a day across the United States and asked to perform. The Multi-Man 90 keeps them kind of level. It maintains and balances their system. The stress level is less when, when everything's right and working right, then they're working right.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now. putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
We've been using Multi-Min for about 7 years. It's one of the most multi-use products that we have here on the farm. Bulls, cows, calves, weaning age cattle, just about everything on the place. If they go through the chute, they get a shot of it. The primary use that we started Multi-Min was in our donor program, in our embryo transplant program. I'd recommend Multi-Min to any producer in the cattle business. Here at Deer Valley, every animal that goes through the chute gets a dose of Multi-Min.
This segment is brought to you by Roy Fry Western Lifestyles, dressing Northeast Kansas their Western best for almost 60 years.
Welcome back to the show. We're finishing up our day of ag, I guess you might say, here in the state of Kansas, National Ag Day. And we're at Harvesters here in Topeka. We're joined by Mary. Thanks for joining us this morning. Mary's the Communications Director for the Department of Agriculture here in the state of Kansas. And the department kind of put together a really cool program. It was a kind of a food drive, not a can drive, but a food drive. Tell us about that.
Well, about almost a year ago at this point, the department had a meeting with our partners in the ag community to talk about Ag Day 2013. During that meeting, the idea was thrown out to have a statewide food drive because hunger affects Kansas communities across the state. At that point in time, we went to work. We partnered with Dillon's and with the 3 food banks that service Kansas: Harvesters, the Kansas Food Bank, and the Second Harvest Food Bank, and set a goal to raise 50,000 meals between February 18th and March 19th. Kansans were able to contribute in Dillon's stores across the state, and we gave them many options to make it easy on them to donate. And the neat thing about this event is food stayed in your local area. If you donated at a Dillon's store in Sterling, those donations stayed in that area. We learned at the end of the day yesterday that as of 5 o'clock yesterday on March 18th, we had raised 58,000 meals and counting. Contributions are still coming in at this point.
Well, you touched on something, and we've talked about it a little bit on the show, is, hunger touches not only Kansas City, Kansas, but it also touches small communities here in the state of Kansas. We're blessed having some of the most fertile land in the country. We grow a lot of corn and soybeans and wheat and cows, and we have people going hungry. It touches everybody.
Absolutely. Hunger does touch communities across the state, large and small. And the unique thing about the Neighbor to Neighbor food drive was was a partnership between Kansas agriculture, the farmers and ranchers who grow the food, connecting with the retailers who have the food on their shelves, with the food banks who help provide the food to those families in need.
And it gets out, and someone was speaking earlier, it gets out to children, and everybody, hates to think of children going hungry, and this is a big reason for the food drive.
Absolutely. At today's wrap-up event, we're having a Back Snack volunteer program. The Back Snack program sends backpacks home with kids who might not have meals when they get home on Friday afternoon after school. About 22% of Kansas kids are eligible for nutrition programs like the Back Snack program.
Reduced or free lunches. And it's something that I think we all kind of take heart to, and everybody that I deal with has been really blessed, and it's a great opportunity to give back to not only to your community but to the state in general.
Absolutely.
What's your plan for next year? I mean, I'm sure you're planning already for 2014.
We will start planning for 2014 here in coming weeks. The drive has been a success. We are excited. We were very excited to learn how much was raised. We hope that this is a long-term partnership between the Kansas Department of Agriculture and the Kansas farmers and ranchers with the food banks and with Dillon's. We sure hope it's a long-term relationship and feel that in the future we can be even more successful as Kansans become more aware about this program.
And we just don't want to think about it over a short month period of time. We want to think about it every day.
Absolutely. Hunger affects Kansans 365 days a year. If you want to get involved in your community, reach out to your local food bank. Visit your grocery store. There are always opportunities to give back and donate and help your neighbors, because this is what this is all about.
Someone's watching the show this morning and want to get in touch with you or the office and find out what they can do to help?
Absolutely. You can contact me directly at on my email address. It's just first name dot last name mary.geiger at kda.ks.gov. You can also visit us online at agriculture.ks.gov to learn more about this drive, to learn more about our Ag Day events, and to learn more about Kansas agriculture in general.
Perfect. Mary, it's good to see you again.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
We'll have plenty more for you tomorrow here on Ag AM in Kansas. We're here every weekday, same time, same station. Or look for us on the web at agaminkansas.com. Eric Atkinson here for K-State Research and Extension.